be win the league no. 10 year Manchester United they win the league this season. Umpa we any idea. Now when you tell my class na omontie.
That you went and maneuvered for Dr. Amor to go and appoint a provision in our status to allow you to contest as a lawyer.
May I start?
Okay.
May I begin? I think you have the floor now. I do.
When I was talking, were you not talking?
First and foremost, I'd like to make a distinction.
What distinction do you want to make?
You do not know my history and my background. My first appointment as a lawyer was at the Attorney General's Department in Ghana.
You have this background and you acted the way you acted and had zero at the voting. What is it? I'm not talking about you are a lawyer. You have disgraced the profession.
It occurred to me that by the book, she was conflicted. So before Kurt even got the post, on the day of election, he rightfully said, I have a conflict of interest potential.
That is never true. That is never true. There is no conflict there. There is no conflict with the FIFA statute. Let me read the official to you and who are allowed to contest.
On paper.
Let me read it to you. Which on paper?
So given the fact that
one issue about
Kubu assembly or cause election with the Ufa by when I fukra.
Let's wait.
Oh, when I fukra. Let's wait there.
So confidence was so far.
Of course, you should be. You should be.
Then what?
Because my whole lesson will send a train. I was on my call election. I'm in top order. This is not time for Matramakwe. This is a time for somebody who is trying and tested. That's all I can say. Thank you very much. I'm your delegate. Only if I want to almost. They are all can't be the Okata pattern. The big double to me than Lagine.
What did you make of the VAR decision? Did David Silva touch the ball?
Why all the managers we have to answer about that decision all the time? Ask them. Not me, not ourselves. All the time VAR.
I mean, you have players that win trophies, you have players that get statues, then you have players that get trophies and statues.
Let's talk about 6, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things that may be. Let's talk about 6.
First thing, we have told the press about determination, courage. We, the supporters, are going to fight the law for them. And we have told them a lot. This is new Olympics. As you people are here, you have been seeing. We have a lot of players, both senior and juvenile players. And you know, as things go on now, the team, we are not playing now. We are not playing our league now. So it's play and build. Playing and build. And everybody will see new Olympics this season. That's play and build system. The more we play, the more we build. No relegation. No relegation at all. Forget about relegation. Yeah. No. Build and play. That's our system. No. That's what I'm saying. That is we are bringing play and build. The more we play, the more we build.
Basti beating me. He stopped me from saying, I didn't understand my beating. My promoter helped me to go British to get a word at the YouTube Basti people. Ed Basti, near the pray for Basti to be a world champion. I don't wish anybody down for. Well, my license will take for driving or film acting or what? I have the film artist, I have the music artist, or what license you will get? Bossy license or what?
I will say that.
Bossy license.
First thing, we have told the press about determination.
Master, I dey fear because that part I dey lose. I don't understand because I know that Basti cannot fit me. Basti near me. If I tell you that Basti go fit me, boss me, I swear with God, when I die, God go push me to the hell. Basti go no fit me. But the way the thing they happen in the room, I dey fear. Because if people go not stroke. I told you, yes, I don't know the power Basti they have. Matter, the time when they enter the inside, listen, the time when they enter the inside, they say, boss, I see Basti more bigger than me. Yes, listen, the time the referee say, round 1, boss. When I see Basti is bigger than me. I don't understand. Basti is shocked. Basti when I enter the ring, Basti is bigger than me. Listen, I ask my coach that this is Basti. Because I don't understand. They want me to lose the fight because I beat people.
FM, 25 years of broadcasting, 25 years of media excellence. And we bring you the Joy Fest. Today's edition is easy and as laid back as always. I'm in the studio with Hans Mensando. Hi, Hans.
Hi, Gary.
Also, joining me from the various locations, I think Muftar Nabila is joining us today, Zoom permitting. Muftar, hi, good evening.
Good evening, Gary.
Yay! Finally, your Zoom works. Finally. Finally, your internet works.
I'm finally here.
Yeah. George Ado Jr. Muftar has been trying for 3 weeks. 3 solid weeks. It's not been working, but yeah, the internet is working.
Success.
I'm telling you. George, hi.
Hey, Gary, great. How you guys doing?
We're doing well, thank you.
And I'm still praying for Muftar. I hope this goes through, actually.
I'm telling you. Benedict, hi. How are you doing? Benedict, are you there? Okay, I think it's taking it quickly. His line is on. Probably he's going to take some water or something like that. Today's edition of the show has a bit of few serious issues and a few, not too serious issues. Where do I begin? George wanted us to do a bit of kotoko because of the problems they've been going through. It seems like every single day in the past week or 10 days has been coming with unpleasant news from Kumasi. The latest being, of course, that Otumfuo is asking for a committee to be set up to look into the judgment debt and the subsequent issues that have been caused from the sale of Emmanuel Clottey a couple of years ago that has brought the club so much bad press. We'll go into that briefly. Also, Mubarak Kwakaso is in a bit of trouble. He said in an interview that as far as he was concerned, the reason why we're not winning laurels at Black Stars level is because of NDC and NPP politics. I mean, his words were that, when NDC came into power, the NPP did everything to make sure that Black Stars didn't work and vice versa. About 24 hours later, he came back to apologize for that one. It was pretty odd because what he said was, well, depending on the comments you looked at, many people feel that he had a case. But others also feel that, if you have a penalty shootout, for example, in 2015 and you have to score, what has NDC and NPP got to do with that? So, yeah, there's that. Plus, today, we got news that certain leagues are taking decisions, finally, in terms of what they are going to do to finish the season. With just about 9 games left, Dutch Eredivisie, the top flight in Dutch football, announced today that they were not going to have any winner for the league season. Ajax have 56 points. AZ Alkmaar also have 56 points, but Ajax lead by on goal difference, and many thought that Ajax would be given the title, but the vote did not go according to plan. So they had a Zoom meeting just like we're having here. They had a vote. 16 clubs voted in favor of a decision to have a winner. 9 abstained and 9 were against, which meant that the Dutch Football Association had to make a decision. The decision they made was that they were not going to have a winner for this season. Few comments from other leagues, especially in England, where fans of Liverpool feel like, yo, is this going to happen? And others also feel like, yes, this is what should happen. Which brings us to Ghana. We have 18 games to finish the Ghana Premier League. And what should we do to the rest of the season? So we'll touch on that briefly, all here on the Joy Fest. Let's hear your thoughts and comments on whether the Ghana Premier League null and void or Liverpool should be given the title, and then we'll move on to other things. 0244340437. That's 0244340437.
You got to move if you're ready or not. You got to turn it up now. You got to move. It's a chance to fly with your head held high right about
now. Yeah, but first, what we begin with is pretty simple. FIFA has decided to make sure that their member associations who are facing financial difficulty in these uncertain times given a bit of a reprieve. And so $500,000 will be given as basic to all member associations, and then if you have any other statutory or impending payments that are supposed to be made to your member association, you are also going to get it. Meaning that for Ghana Football Association, they will get that amount of money,
$500,000.
I think it's in one of the rap songs. Yeah, half a million. I think.
Half a minute.
Yeah.
Never.
For me, never. That's Sarkodie song, I think. So most people are saying that, oh wow, if the GFA are going to get $500,000, then we should do this with it, we should do that with it. But we're going to give a bit of perspective as to how the GFA actually best place. So Muftau, are you there? Hello, Muftau. Oh, not today too.
Yeah, I'm still here.
On the line. So, could you kindly explain how they doing this?
Well, I think it's necessary because the various federations, because of the situation, have not been able to make kind of money expecting to make to happen, and as well, the money that FIFA is also giving.
You know how food prices have gone down, and how the government is making sure that food will be available even in lockdown areas, and so on and so forth. So these are basic issues. People feel like football, but it's not such a big deal. Now that the GFA have got this 500,000, I have two questions.
Football Association have people who work for the secretariat and have people who country got staff and have people to feed. Their source of livelihood is the money they make from the Ghana Football Association. If I'm to advise the Ghana Football, I would say that should the $500,000 hit the accounts of the Ghana Football Association available to them? We have a total of 18 Premier League clubs. We have about 48 Division 1 clubs. And if you go to the Women's League, we've got about 8 of them. Then you will now have to look at Division 2 and the other lower divisions. However, I think that the most important areas within the Ghana Football Association are the sectors that generate revenue for the Ghana Football Association, and that is the Premier League and then the Division 1 and that of the Women's League.
Yeah.
I think that those members of the Ghana Football Association must first of all be served. After you are able to pay your staff, the second thing is how much do we give to each member of the Ghana Football Association?
Yeah.
$500,000. 18 Premier League clubs. Let's say you are giving each of them $5,000 or even $10,000. That would give about $180,000 if it's $10,000. Then now you go to Division 1 clubs. Give 48 of them. Give them $5,000 each. 5 times 48. That should be giving us approximately $200,000 or $240,000+. And that means that you've spent close to $400,000 of the money FIFA has sent you. How much will now be left to be given to women's clubs? One thing for us to note in the women's division is that most of them, let's say the police ladies, the immigration ladies, these are agencies within the government of Ghana. So what it means is that their source of revenue doesn't necessarily need to come from the Ghana Football Association because they are in one way or the other making their money from the taxpayer, which is government. So I think that most of those clubs, in as much as you cannot do away with them, if you are giving, let's say, Pablo's Ladies $5,000, you can go into a conversation with a club like Immigration Ladies, Police Ladies. We can give you $3,000 because your sister or your brother is hard hit and does not have an alternative of making money. We'll give you $3,000 instead of giving you the $5,000. That is what I think. On the second thought of whether the Ghana Football Association should continue to proceed to government and seek for a stimulus package, I do not think that the Ghana Football Association should continue to go on that tangent. But one thing we must note is that all the clubs are registered as companies. And the stimulus package, which was announced by the president, was to be given to businesses. Small-scale businesses. And if a club is registered as a company at the Registrar General, they've got every single right to apply for them to be given the stimulus package because they've also been hard hit. Earlier today, I had a privilege of speaking to the CEO of Interlife, the person of Dalis Sanaye, and offhead, he said that the football sector alone employs about 40,000 people directly. Note the word directly. So what it means is that about 40,000 livelihoods are under threat if they are not able to pay salaries. Let's look at the people who they employ indirectly. That is going to be taking us to another thousands. The referees, the match commissioners, the ball boys, and all these people, all these, and the people who take up our pitches, all these people are paid. Then you have so many other people who are going to be affected. So I don't think that the money coming in from FIFA is enough, but you preceded the question by saying that there are so many sectors that need attention of government.
Yeah.
So if the Ghana Football Association is able to make like say $500,000 from FIFA, I would think that should be enough for them. They can follow up on StarTimes. Who are their broadcast rights sponsor? Ask them to give you money. The last time I checked, I was made to understand that the money was supposed to come in somewhere mid-March, but because of COVID-19, they were not able to wire the money into the accounts of the Ghana Football Association, and they expect it by the end of this month. However, the proposal on the table is that StarTimes wants to give that $100,000. If StarTimes is able to give you that $100,000, what it means is that you will now be making a total of $600,000. And I think this should be enough for the club, and they shouldn't proceed to pressure government more to
give them anything from the stimulus package. Okay, all right. I think your point is well made. George, roll call again. George, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Benedict, are you there?
Yes.
Exactly, fantastic. So we've not heard from you yet. I mean, we've given the rundown of what's been going on with the 500,000 that's come from FIFA. And we are debating how should the GFA use this money first. Muftar believes that first pay your staff and then start looking at the clubs who are the main stakeholders. What say ye?
Well, I think the Football Association, I mean, by now knows very well what they have to use the money for. I mean, yes, initially they were looking at the stimulus package from government, and of course, I mean, if something like that came up, then you definitely will know that yes, they also had hits in these trying times, and that they need, some sort of relief. And if FIFA, I mean, in their own wisdom, thought it wise that it is good for them to help the member associations, and that they are going to give them $500,000, which is $500,000. And as Muftar mentioned, I mean, they've now received the StarTimes money, and the StarTimes money, mind you, is not just for the clubs, their administrative expenses as well. So if $500,000 is coming, I mean, for me, I think one should be about the administrative process of the FA. The staff there must be taken care of. I mean, you're not looking at pay cut issues here. They must be paid for the months that they've been home. Some I know are working from home. The clubs also themselves are crying, some are discussing pay cuts, others are also paying their players. For us, what helps us is that, the money they pay these players are not that huge, you understand? So,
yeah.
I mean, they can manage, and also there are no matches, so no winning bonuses and all to be paid. So I think that they must first look at the Football Association issues at their offices, and then they can also look at the clubs as well.
Okay, so comments are already coming in. You can also send some 0244340437. We posted this earlier. This one is from Francis Obin, says, I don't mind whoever they pay so long as they'll be transparent and accountable, else it will be time to chop. Davido Umar says, this is nice, but will they do the right thing and pay those who deserve to be paid first? Michael Opoku says, I hope they'll in turn assist the clubs from this stimulus payments from FIFA. Yeah, that's what he says. Delali Sky says, this is not time to redefine coefficients. They should pay the people who deserve to be paid first. Citizen Sika Togo says, that will come in timely to help the FA and its operations. We pray it is judiciously used with proper accounting procedures. Kobe Fojo Kojo says, good decision by FIFA. All we want to see is accountability when this money gets into the GFA coffers. And Michael Opokunyako says that, Gary, where is this money from? I know it's from FIFA, but are they just giving them as a gift? Okay, so that's a good question. Let me just explain. So what it is that every year, as you know, we've always had what they call the FIFA grants, aka the goal project. That is what it used to be called back in the day. Now it's called the FIFA forward payment. So these grants are given to associations to develop in whatever areas that FIFA believe that development should go. So in recent years, with the rise of women's football, for example, FIFA have increasingly been giving more money to each member federation to develop women's football. So just one example.
Gary, not to cut you, the total number FIFA usually sends is $1.25 million.
Yes, to every member federation. But today's statement says that FIFA is starting an immediate financial support to their member associations in response to COVID-19. So, Michael, that's your first answer. The second thing you have to note is that it says $150 million will be distributed among the 211 national football governing bodies around the world. Okay, so $150 million over the 211. And what it also means is that the GFA is expected to use the money to pay staff salaries and fulfill other operational costs arising from the loss of football revenue, or to pay any third parties that need to be paid. Under normal circumstances, Michael, it should be noted that the GFA and all other football federations will only be given this money if they meet a set criteria. So which means that FIFA will demand that you do A, B, or C before they give you that money. But this time, they are not asking. They are actually giving you the money you are supposed to be given for 2019 and 2020 in advance. So it's not free money. It is you now your money, but they are giving you in advance, Hans.
Yeah, so the criteria I mentioned is actually 10, and one of them goes a long way to, answer a question that I've been grappling with, and that is whether to cancel or annul the Ghana Premier League season entirely. Now, one of the requirements is that, a league season being played within at least a 6 months period.
Okay.
Now that we don't need to satisfy them before we get, then we come to other questions to represent Ghana in the continental competition.
If it resumes.
Which is also easy in my opinion, because the real
plan A, what they're going to do in plan B is very, very, very necessary at this point.
Nice one. Whose opinion have I not taken? Benedict, should we annul, void the league or not?
Well, I think I remember saying somewhere 2 weeks ago when this subject came up that for me, we should hold on. I don't think that we have to, right? We can review whichever day we discontinue the league. If by June it is gone, we continue our league. So I think that we should rather be looking at scenarios instead of let's maybe saying that at this point that we are in as we are talking, we advise the Football Association to call up the Premier League. That would be so premature to do.
Right. So, Muftau, you final,
Football said that all member associations should ensure of a specific period. That is why they decided that they are not going to play their interclub competitions from August to May. So what it meant was that all member associations should ensure that they end their competitions by May. So in October 2017, the Ghana Football Association met in Cape Coast and decided that by 2019-2020 Ghana Premier League season, they should have a calendar that is in tandem with that of CAF and that of FIFA. What it meant was that this season, the Ghana Football Association was supposed to ensure that their league would end in May. But because of number 12, they had decided that the league should end on July 26th so that they can get themselves ready and start in August or September so that the following season would end somewhere May, June, so that they can be within the period of CAF and that of the European calendar. One thing too, we should also note in this conversation about cancelling or holding on is that the Ghana Football Association have actually asked government for a stimulus package. If you cancel your competition, do you still hold that moral right to go to government and say that, oh, the stimulus package I asked for, give it to me? What are you going to use it to organize? Whom are you giving the money to? That's a big question that maybe the Ghana Football Association and the clubs would be asking themselves. At this point, if we cancel the league, you cannot go there and say that we still need the stimulus package because you don't have any active competition. So I think that the Ghana Football Association at the moment, they are in a dilemma.
Are you there, Muftau? Yeah, I think Muftau is having a bit of a challenge. Hi, Muftau. Okay.
Hello, guys. You can hear me?
Yes. Please land. Your line was.
Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, please land. Yes.
So, I was landing. What I was saying is that at this point, it will be very difficult for the Ghana Football Association to actually be decisive. And let's also note, all over the world, we cannot tell, apart from the Eredivisie who have said that, okay, we are ending our season. All over the world, all associations are struggling to actually tell when we are coming back and when we are ending. So we can also still be within that frame and be monitoring what is happening within other places and see how the things we can adopt us. And I think at this point, it will be pretty early for the Ghana Football Association to say that we are cancelling the competition.
Thank you, Muftau. Now let's move on to the final, or maybe the penultimate, depending on how much time we have. And it was pretty interesting as I saw it on social media. I don't know how this panned out, but let's hear this soundbite.
And that there may kind of only be a problem. If I born no, ebia yenim, but yempese ebeka. Etom rebia politics have Black Star. NDC ni MPP tiswa opese MPP wini. NDC sun pese obe wini. NDC tiswa opese wini. MPP sun pese obe wini. Nti etom rebia ene so high. Nti the way ya kabom yare we aba NDC ni MPP no sa pepepe na we bibia yema omine bia sa na se kabom na ye.
So Buba Akasede, that's a couple of days ago, and then
a few days ago, in an interview with Angel TV, I commented that partisan politics is one of the factors killing our national team. In fact, I mentioned MPP NDC politics specifically. My comment was not intended to malign any political party or make anyone unpopular. However, the commentary it has generated has forced me to rethink about my position, and I think I shouldn't have made those comments. I wish to withdraw the statement I made and also apologize to both political parties and to anyone else who has been affected by my comments. I'm sorry.
Wakaso there with the before and the after. So the apology was voiced by one of our guys on the Joy Sports desk. Hans?
Okay, so first off, nobody can tell me that Mubarak Wakaso didn't know what he was talking about. I mean, if you listen to the audio very well, he says, which tells me that he knew exactly what he was talking about. In any case, these are things, we know. It's a typical situation of, well, but you can't prove.
Yeah.
You understand me? But it's common knowledge that there are political factions within a Black Star setup. And so I wasn't surprised to hear him say it. I mean, I heard him say it. I was like, well, it didn't sound like anything new to me. Because it's something that I know is happening within the Black Stars of Ghana. Now, the sense I get is that he didn't really understand the implication of what the blowback was going to be.
Yeah.
That he didn't know. He didn't know what the implication was going to be. And so, yes, I mean, he said it, and it generated a storm that he didn't anticipate, and he's been advised to apologize, and he's done exactly that. But I think that we have to look beyond the apology and perhaps be a bit realistic with ourselves. Because if for nothing at all, this is something we've all heard before. I think that within the Black Star setup, within the playing body, within the technical setup, within the Ghana Football Association, they know that this situation exists. In given any situation where you find people, a number of people, there is likely to be a certain politics playing out. But that politics must inure to the benefit of the group. Now, I don't think that any footballer goes to the field of play thinking, first of all, I'm going to represent a political interest, such that if that player is a striker and he gets a chance to score a goal that sends Ghana to the next stage or wins.
You say because I'm NDC,
I am not going to score. I don't think that's the sort of politics he's talking about.
Yeah.
But I think that what he described is a situation that exists. We've heard of players funding political parties in this country. We know these things. I think we need to analyze. The conversation has to be, to what extent is this affecting the fortunes of the team? That is what we need to get into and see how best we can turn that situation around. As for the politics, you can't stop players from having political
Exactly, because it's their right.
It's their right.
Yeah.
But it must not affect the fortunes of the team.
Okay,
that is where
so
the
just a bit. George, let me come to you. First of all, what was your reaction when you saw the video? Did you go like, oh shoot?
Well, I must confess that I saw the comments. Yes, I saw the post. I saw the quotes. Then I heard the entire video. When I saw the quotes, I was like, okay, so what's happening here? What's the politics? I know there's been politics around and everything, but what is he trying to say? Then when I listened to the audio and I saw the full video, I thought he didn't air too much. But the problem here is this. I don't think he aired too much because he said it is part of the problem. In Chi, he says, so then I'm like, okay, now he's giving us a bigger picture. But this is the problem, Gary. I think this is the problem, that for all the failures to win the Africa Cup of Nations, there has been more to do with what the playing body put up than the politics.
Exactly.
That's the issue.
Exactly.
Because if you're looking at the entire playing and you are trying to do politics 30%, this 40%, it comes down to the playing body and the technical team. That is where the issues have been. Because in 2010 we went with a very young team, very young team. They were in the final. We were all happy with what they did. In 2008, I thought some technical decisions affected us. Yes, we know. In 2012, we had issues. In 2013, we had issues. In 2015, we were that close, penalty shootout. In 2017, we lost to a Cameroonian side that eventually won, but we're not, in quotes, that good. So our problems have been, we've not probably gone to competition with the right players. The players have come into competition with injuries. The medical staff have not told us the truth about the players. We have realized that our players have not just been good enough.
Yeah.
And that is the majority, or that's the greater part of the issue. That's why there was a backlash straight away. Everybody was like, what do you guys do? But if we go down and we're trying to do the analysis, and if the technical reports were indeed taking as we expected it, you have realized that there were issues. Now, the political side of all of this, I think, is a big one, and we will need a lot of time to talk about how the politics affects, because Hans is making an important point there. There is politics within the Ghana Football Association, the administration itself. There's politics within the playing body. There's politics within the technical team. There's politics about which players are called and which players are not being called. There's politics about, and I'm sure Benedict will tell you, when they go to camp, when they are in Dubai, there's politics, and there's politics of, ministers coming in and meeting players to meet. There's politics of players doing whatever they want to do, with the coaches having a proper control. So in every corner, there is politics of the day. But he was going straight to this one. That's the only place I disagree with him.
Yeah.
The fact that we have not won the Africa Cup of Nations because, look, the playing body and the technical team have failed us than any other thing.
Muftar, let me come to you. And piggybacking on what George and Hans before him have said, I think that it's a sound point, because you see, we like to blame a lot of things, or put a lot of blame at the doorsteps of NDC and MPP in this country. But when it comes to the Black Stars, we have to admit that these two parties have actually bent over backwards in the last 10 to 15 years. Yes, they have bent over backwards to over-resource, and over-pamper the Black Stars. And I think that
I was actually going to use the word pump in all the little resources.
Yeah. The small we are going to use for education and stuff. So that's where I thought Wakaso was wrong. But the subsequent governments, starting from President Kufuor, notably starting from President Kufuor in around the 2006 period, when we realized that, look, we have to get ready for AFCON 2008, when the $10,000 thing became a thing where it was supposed to be temporary. By the time we realized it had become normal, to the time that we started paying astronomical winning bonuses of $15,000 to $20,000 in this country, I think that the parties should actually be blamed for doing too much of a good thing.
Exactly, and it was really shocking to have heard Wakaso say that, though he has apologized, and I think we should let it stay as it is.
Yeah, sure.
It's really unfortunate he went for the easiest of targets. Who would forget how a politician who is in companies in their country sponsor our national team? The taxes we are going to impose on you cannot stand.
Yeah.
No one can forget that. And that politicians have actually pumped in so much of resources. Who have said that because of the two main political parties we've got in the country, it is one of the reasons why we failed to win the African. It's shocking for me. Since 1982 to 2000, we were under autocratic leadership. So where from that position political party that said that we shouldn't win the African Cup of Nations since then? Hans and George mentioned much earlier. We've all heard the stories about how Ghana failed to win the 1992 African Cup of Nations trophy. It was because the players were dissatisfied.
$1 in bonuses.
The players.
Yes, to players. $10 million in bonuses alone.
We haven't found the trophy.
$10 million. Yeah, Mustafa, go ahead.
I think we should do a documentary on this and create a picture of how these Black Stars players have actually.
I have a title for the documentary already. Ghana.
Benedict.
No, hold on.
Benedict, you are doing this documentary. 10 million cry.
No, this is mine. Ghana, the Corona documentary. Hey, the Corona budget files. Ghana, the Corona budget files. I mean, it has to be. It's crazy. The amount of faith. Yeah. Please land.
Just land on this and say that Mugai Wakaso went for the easiest of targets, but he forgot the inner feelings of the team.
Yeah.
The team have failed to match up to the best we've got in the continent, and they should rather work hard on competing against the best and not be looking at politicians as being some of the reasons why they've not been able to win.
Sure.
It's really unfortunate, and it is the right thing that he came out to apologize.
You know, I remember, I would never forget after South Africa 2013, Mr. Nyantichi. Yeah, afterwards, when the competition was up. Because remember, let's situate it. After 2013, or before 2013, we had such a good run, had made the final 2012, and there had been a concerted effort. Now, if I remember correctly, this was the last big push collectively as a country that we had to go and win the AFCON. And so when we got there and we couldn't, and he was asked, I can't remember which reporter asked him, the president, what should we do now? He said, look, we have done everything. And I remember, he said, we have done everything. Yeah, that was when he used the expression, the mental block, yeah. He said, we have done everything, and I remember he was nearly in tears because, Charlie, what haven't we done for the Black Stars as a country?
In that Burkina Faso game, Gary, in that Burkina Faso game. Hans, we did everything in that game.
It's not everything that you can see at Mustafa. I know where you want to go with this. I was in Nelspruit on that day. Before the game, we were told that look, this game is ours because things had happened. Charlie.
Nigeria in the final.
Nah, look. Even we the journalists knew that it was a done deal.
It was a done deal.
Charlie. Anyway. All right, guys. So it's 8 o'clock.
We failed to take our chances.
No, the referee was so poor. The ref was he basically was our 12-man. The ref was our 12-man. Hans, should I let you read a couple of comments and then we'll wrap it up here?
This one says, good evening, Gary. Wakaso's statement is to be treated seriously. Ajman Joseph sent that one through from Tema Community 9. Nice lad, Ajman Joseph. And this one says, Wakaso said the truth. Well, is reversing because of political pressure. And this one, he also says the Premier League trophy should be given to Liverpool. In fact, they should have done well looking at last season and this season. It should not be declared null and void. So in Holland, is there anything like relegation innocent at a Dentat? No.
No, there's no relegation, in Holland.
In Holland this season. Hi, Gary, please, you remember the likes of Jonathan Petroipa, Aristide Banse, and in that Burkina Faso, Mas Kelly.
Who can forget?
Sending that one through, and one more here. I think it has to do with the money that the Ghana Football Association is receiving from FIFA. He says, I suggest the nitty-gritty of the sharing of FIFA fund by GFA must be known to the respective clubs to avoid ambiguity and uncertainty in the process of sharing from, say, Prepe, Presec, Legon. Those are some of the
nice one. So as DJ Black saunters into the studio, I'd like to say bye-bye to Benedict. Are you there?
DJ Black was saunters.
Yeah, he saunters into the studio. Muftao, thank you very much for joining us as well. It's been great having you. Let your Zoom work again next week. We appreciate it. George Ado Jr., thank you very much for joining us. And Benedict, today it was your turn for your internet to misbehave. now and again. But we shall overcome. We shall overcome.
He was running on 2G.
I'm Gary L. Smith, and DJ Black is here to do the music. Bye bye.